Hey, how you guys doing? We're gonna be going over a game I played, and it's against a 2053 level player. I'm black. I wanted to show you how to use the French defense system to a more effective level so that what we can do is you can get better, I can get better, we can all learn right alongside. So let us continue onward and upward. All right, my opponent played e4, I played e6, he played d4, I played d5. This is the start of the standard French. So this is what you're going to get from all Frenches. It's going to be here. Yeah. Then at this point, it goes into the exchange, the advanced variation, the exchange variation. The this turns into the Winier variation, and then the French Paul Vers variation. I'm still learning that one. So, what we do is we have the Tarrasch variation with something similar to that, and that's actually what was played. He played the Tarrasch on me. So, and what you want to do is don't be tempted to take right away. Don't do that, because what'll happen is he'll take back, and you'll have a fixed structure here. You'll have this one pawn here, and it'll be a pain to get rid of, to actually trade down. So the proper move to actually play is c5. Go along with the French moves. Don't stray from it. Don't stray, trust me. He plays there, I move back. We're back in the Tarrasch variation. So don't worry. But this time it's better for me because I get the move. And he doesn't have a knight on f3, so he plays knight e2. At this point, because the knight has either, you have to remember, if the knight on b1 either moves to d2 or a3, remember you can take. But if it stays on b1, the white knight stays on b1, don't take. Develop. Get pressure around the d4 pawn before you take, so that you have max pressure. But because he moved to e2, it's a very oddly placed thing, so I just take. He takes, and then now I can actually play a couple moves. I can play f6 right away. That's an interesting move, because at this point, if he castles, I take, and if he tries to take back, then I win. So he's going to have to take, and then by taking, I can play knight f6. Knight takes f6, and I can potentially get b4, queen a5, potentially queen b6, bishop d7. You know, I have a lot of different ideas, but I chose to play more of a kind of casual classic variation. After takes, I played the more standard queen b6. There's nothing wrong with that. That puts the pressure on my opponent, and also it eyes the b2 pawn, so that if this bishop ever moves, this guy's going down the board. I mean, this one's coming off the board. He goes knight to f6, f3. It's important to do that. He has to have two pieces that are attacking. I mean defending, because I have two pieces that are attacking. Sorry, ding, ding, two defenders. But at this point, I say to myself, hey, can I develop something else? Yes, I can develop bishop to e7. I could play bishop check, but what that does is it helps him develop, and no longer do I have a threat on these two pawns anymore. This would be blocking my one of my threats, and it's a one move idea. You don't want to do a one move idea. This is a multitude of ideas. My idea is for when he castles, I castle. He plays a3, which is not the best move. It's more of an inferior move. It's not that it's a bad move. It just is slow, very, 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 very slow. And he allows me to go f6. See, f6, if you can get your two breaks in, c5 and f6, pawn f6, both, and you're allotted to do that, you are dominating the game at that point. He plays b4, I take, he takes, and then I take. You don't want to take, you could take with this knight, but the only sitch is that's your worst place knight. So if you ever kind of get into a rhythm where you, one second, hold on, I'm sorry. Get into kind of a slump or a ditch in some sort of sequence and you don't get a plan, develop your worst piece. So my worst piece at this moment is my knight. I can make it really good by playing d takes e5. I also win a pawn. Potentially, what you're thinking, wait, what if he plays here? I just take off his good bishop. And if he takes here, I just take off a bishop. If he takes here, I grab the pawn, and I'm still up a whole pawn. Let's say he takes with his rook. He can't because of boom there. So he's got to take with his either knight. Let's say he takes with his knight. Now look at his structure. It's horrible. It's wrecked. And at this point, my bishop's attacking his rook. So if he moves up, I just push onward. And then I get these two guys moving. These two warriors moving down the board. So he took, and then took. I took. And at this point, I decided just to retreat all the way back. I didn't want any sneaky threats of any of that garbage that he could play on me. So I'm just like, you know what? And if he wants to plant his bishop here, you can just take it. And then now you drop your queen in, and now there's this sweet open line for your oh, wait a second. I'm not bad. I apologize. If he takes there, you take first, and then at this point you can actually play e5 and get these guys marching down the board. So I have all the play. So then I develop. Sorry, I go back. After that, he moves his bishop back to get these pawns rolling. Actually, I really have no idea. I think his idea was to play here. That's kind of what his idea was. So when I moved there, the drawback was I surrendered this square here. So oops. I'm sorry about that. Give me a second. I apologize. We'll get back to that spot. I surrendered at that point this square here by moving, but I went after the bishop. So yeah, to give a little bit. And so then I played G6, and I again surrendered the H6 square. So rather than move my knight and take it off, my rook, sorry, and take it off of its best open file, I just decided, I know I'm trading off my good bishop, but sometimes you have to do that. So he attacks. He's bringing his queen to more active of a square. I go bishop d6 because I'm up a whole pawn now. And if he exchanges, I have this passed pawn. And I'm up a whole pawn. And I actually, yes, I have 3 pawn islands, but I'm still up a whole pawn, and I can reroute my knight right back there. So he won't take. So he plays knight to h4. I take the pawn because when he moved his queen, what did he leave behind? The knight, the a3 pawn. So I grabbed it. He moved his bishop. I moved my queen. He brought his knight over. So, and what I did was that was a mistake. So that was an inaccurate move. I should have probably played something maybe here. Maybe I could have even retreated my queen back. Maybe even just, played there something. But that actually is not the best move because of check, check, and he played queen h3. He won a pawn back. I'm still up one pawn. I was up two. Bring my knight back. The queen comes. Now that's a mistake because I would have walked into a fork, but because we were so intense into it, I didn't see the fork. My opponent didn't see the fork, so I was very blessed. He just moved his bishop, and so then I brought my knight in, which was my plan, but it wasn't the best. So I got to be very careful, even with my move sequences. He checked. I brought my king back. He checked, and I went queen f 8. I was hoping for this trade here, but then it would have been an equal position, and so I don't know. It'd been who is the best player, and of course, I'm the best player. RR. That's a joke. Okay. So he played back there, and I want you guys to step back, find the move that basically puts the entire game away. I want you guys to do that. I'll step back for a little bit, and we'll have you do that starting right now. And put it in the chat if you have an idea what type of move it is. Just look at the board. I'll give you some time. It's black to move and win. And if you guys want to, stop, maybe if you look at the recording, you can stop at this point and go over why this move here is the best move. Why G5 is the best move. G5 is the best move because the knight guards the H, the G3 square, and what happens is I could take after this queen moves because the queen's attacked. If it moves here or here, here, I have that idea of a check and I win his rook. He resigned at this point, so we'll show you a line. If here, watch, he'll have to move, then we take, and then the only way to stop it is to go knight G1, and then I get a smother mate attacking his queen. That's line 1. By the way, after this my opponent resigns, so we showed line 1, we'll show line 2. Same idea works, exactly the same. And now I have a fork, a smothered mate fork both ways. And the only way that would hold the position is actually queen takes e4, and that's the only way to hold it. Otherwise, everything is lost. He's down a whole queen. I'm up so much material, and I wanted to share that with you guys. That's a cool game. So, wanted to show you about how you have to be careful of the subtle nuances in the position that you play. Okay, and with that we will go to our puzzle and we will do some puzzles. Alright, if you guys have any games that you would like to propose to look at, post them in the chat. We'll go over them. I'm more than happy to do that, because this is all about learning. This chat's all about learning. And that's the name. That's the name of our game. Okay, dokie. Let's see here. Since we're 2300, they're going to be amping up the intensity of the problems. So we're going to have to think a multitude of different moves out. We got to remember though, don't think too hard, but don't think too simple, because what'll happen is they'll throw you something that looks like it's the right answer, but actually if you follow it down the trail, it's not the right answer. So just keep that in mind when we're looking at these problems. We know that his idea is a check here. So let's first take a look at a way to stop this. If we were to stop it, what would we do? We'll try bishop takes e4. So queen takes e4. If we go pawn takes h4, g takes h4, we have a check. And if the king moves, we also have the ability to potentially double up here. We can't, actually, I'm sorry, we can't, because there's this pawn here. So let's see, hold on, let's go back to move 19 and see kind of what the idea is. So now let's take in consideration and look at what would happen if our opponent, if we took here. So g takes h4, knight check on f6, rook takes f6. Rook takes f6, e takes f6, pawn takes g3, queen check, king comes up, check, king comes up, well, you know, it's still one of the best. It's not the best. Yeah, that is true. AlphaZero did really defeat it, but you know, it's a good learning tool anyway. So yeah, you got to use what's out there. So that's the whole thing about why why chess, I'm sorry, Stockfish 8 is open for us. So you got to use what's out there to get better. And think about it, it was one of the engines that did win the tournament. Yes, it got totally, sad to say, crushed by AlphaZero. It still is a good engine. It just means that AlphaZero is a better engine. Yeah, yeah. You gotta use what you can out there. When AlphaZero comes out and it's free to the public, probably. Potentially, you never know. You never know. He is a good player. Actually, a great. He didn't get to be world champion for nothing. Yeah, exactly. And so he did one. He did win that one tour once. So he's still hanging in there, and I think it's Todd. I'm not sure. He might be in the Tata Steel one that's happening. So I'm not sure if he's in there yet or not. I know that there's Wesley So, Caruana Nakamura. I think Aronian's there. I'm not sure if Anon's there. I don't know if Ian, the one that played in London's there, but I know that it's going to be like high. There's Hu Feng Yu is there. She's going to be playing it. She's playing in it. So some really good players. That'll be a really good one to learn from. We'll have to pull some games from those and look at them. I was impressed, players are just getting better and better and better. So it also helps us when we look at games. So if you have any ideas, hey, how you doing? So we're looking at a puzzle at this moment. Potentially, they may allow that. They may allow the three to play it. Yeah. It would be interesting to see. That would be interesting to put all those players together and put maybe our top 10. This just my opinion, together and battle Alpha Zero, the top 10 in the world, and get them together and have them all sitting there and talking about. Give it like no time limit. Jake, they can have as much time as they want, but it has to be reasonable, of course. And they could decide on a move to play against Alpha Zero. That'd be cool. Putting those top 10 minds together, that would be stellar. I would watch that for sure. That'd be a very cool, tournament. Alpha Zero versus the 10 top, greatest, our top players in chess in the world. That'd be cool. That would probably have as many views as most major games would have nowadays that do tournaments. Yeah. Yeah. So, do you guys have any ideas? There's a couple. There's a couple moves that I can see that make any sense here. Well, that's probably more true to reality that that'll happen. But hey, it'll be a great game for us to go over, anyways. 10 of the top, greatest players, not well, top in the world at this moment, and Alpha Zero. Can you imagine the learning information that you can get off of those games? That'd be so cool, just for the learning purposes, if anything. Queen takes h4. Knight check. That's an interesting idea. I like that idea. Now see here. I didn't consider that. I considered bishop takes and pawn takes, but I didn't consider that sacrifice. That's an interesting sacrifice for sure. Let's see. What would be the drawback to that, though? It's not a bad move. It's just a move I didn't consider. Let's see here. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, thank you for posting that. I'll have to think about that, because You know, you never know what'll happen next. So I can't wait to see what the next computer is going to be. You know, if there's an Alpha Zero, I can't wait to see if there's another one that can even play greater than Alpha Zero. That'd be cool to see what the next computer would be for chess engine like that. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was the one I think that commentated on Magnus versus Nakamura. Those were some interesting games for sure. But Magnus was really in his element when he was on chess.com. Those were some really good games. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, there. Trying to see what the next, because there's a couple moves that he could play. There's takes after the queen takes on h4. There's really only two moves that potentially could be played. G takes on e3. G pawn takes h4. Or knight to f6 check. So let's take a look at this. There takes, and then if checks, we can actually play rook check. Rook takes knight. Or potentially we may have to move. No, we have to take, and then I don't like that because then we have there. Then we move up. He's got ouch. I don't like that. Ouch. I don't. Man. So he'd probably after takes here if he took back. First of all, you gotta check. It's forced. That's a forced check, and then I believe it's a forced checkmate. Yeah, forced checkmate. So we can eliminate the takes because of. Or can we eliminate? Can we eliminate the take? No, we can't. There's still that. Very, very irritating. So, the takes here, let's see, takes there, let's say he drops his knight in now. Check on f6, rook takes f6. Alright, wow, even better. I am sorry, there's two takes here. So let's see, queen takes, knight check. Sorry, queen takes, knight check. Rook h6 takes f6, and then if takes there, then we have a back rank mate. Or potentially we have queen takes queen. Ouch. Let's see, here, takes. Takes. Nope, we lose material on that. We have to somehow stop this guy from doing anything. Let's see if we take here, queen takes, pawn takes, and if queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes, up. No, that doesn't work, knight neither. Do we have any other ideas? Let's take it. Let's check out this takes one more time to see if there's anything to it. No. Takes. I'm just trying to see if there's. Okay. Let's see. We'll go back to 19 and kind of see what. Uh, Not sure what to do here. Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, let's calculate. Let's get into our. Let's get into the zone. Takes. So I'm thinking that he's wanting to. The reason he pushed this pawn was to actually take advantage of here, even though that potentially is going to go under check. So I'm trying to see, is there, because after here, if he plays here, we have two ideas for taking. We have here, here. So I'd probably play rook takes, and then pawn takes, and then we can actually take, and we're covered, our checking square's covered by this rook, and we're threatening mate, so I'd say takes is correct, yeah. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . And then now we want to take here with that instead of here because of the check right there. So if we take here, he can actually check on, F takes F takes the knight here, the F8 knight takes F6, and the check would allow for that capture. But if we played rook H6 takes F6, that buys us a move so that we can take, and then we have this mating threat happening along that position. Do you guys see that? Because if he takes here, we can actually take back. And I don't think there's a way to stop. And bishop, yeah, bishop intercepts there, yeah. And we're still threatening, so the queen's going to have to take, and then we take back and we win. There we go. This is an interesting one too, as well. We can play, there's queen to E4 that protects the bishop. Also prepares for a check. So, I know, isn't that something? That's such a pain, huh? It's got, see, double idea. Hold on, let's go back here and take a look. We do potentially have that. Queen takes G3. Because then if he takes here, we can block with our rook, and he doesn't have enough time to do a check, and so we can win our we can win the rook. So if we played here, let's say he took there, we have the ability to block with our rook again. And if he plays here, we can actually take the knight, protecting our bishop and our rook. So that move is the one that makes the most sense. Rook D7. You have to always take in consideration what's the most forcing line. and the threat of a check and a fork is huge. Yes, this does have an idea. The only sitch though is he has rook to d1. See, rook d1 is a really problem. And what this does is when we take, even if he takes here, our rook is now attacking his queen, which gives us the one tempo we need to take his rook with check. So rook takes g2 is an imperative move, because yes, we lose a bishop, but in return we get a rook with check. What do you guys think? It'd be here, 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 and if the queen maybe moved, we'll just say up to here, we take with check, and we win the rook with check, and we're good to go. What do you guys think? I believe that's 100% correct. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Boom. Just one sec, I'll be right back. So rook e5, you guys say? Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Interesting. Let's take a look at this. Boy, that looks very tempting. Nope, we can't do that because of the queen. Drat. Drat, drat, drat. Let's see. We do have a potential kind of exchange idea. Rook takes d5. Yeah, I think if we play rook takes d5, queen takes rook, and then we can actually bring up our rook to e5. That's a potential idea, which attacks the knight. So that is a idea for that. Hold on, let me go back to 19. We'll kind of get a look. Doesn't mean that it's going to go the way that the moves go, but we'll kind of get a somewhat of a feel for the position at hand. Okay, so far so good. Attach the rook. Okay. Slides over. Attach the bishop. Bishop moves. So this is a I like that idea. I think we'll take a look to see. Interesting idea. Then if pawn, I think that that's an interesting idea as well. Yeah, the whole move sequence is based on, for white, that pawn right there. See, he's wanting to open up the line for this rook to come on to and have a triple attack happen. So the only stitch about Queen A is that is interesting, isn't it? Ooh, nice. That looks very tempting. Nice. 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 Fine there. Nice, nice. You gotta love that type of a play. And then if we can get this check, wow, that'd be power if we can get that. We could win a lot of pieces. See here, I'll calculate this out. And let's say he moves his rook up. Nope, he can't move his rook. That's not because this bishop guards that square. So here, so we'd have to. Nope, can't play there. So maybe he'd have to play his rook to. We'll just say. I'm not sure what his rook will move to, but we'll just say rook f1 kind of for the time being. Then we could take with the queen. Queen takes bishop. If queen takes, we could play rook takes queen, and we have enough defenders to stop his onslaught. That I'd probably say 100% for sure that's the correct one. What do you guys think? I believe that is the move because there's so many threats behind that. We're gonna win at least one of these guys. I like queen a5. Yeah, let's go for it. Good find, man. Great job. Well, there was so much behind it. There was like, that was close to a grandmaster. That was actually, in my opinion, a grandmaster find. Excellent find there, man. Excellent. Wow. Good pattern recognition. Excellent. I'd love to play this move, but the only sitch is he can stop it with knight takes d7. Wow, that's a nice one. That's a nice find too. Well, I was thinking f6, but I don't think it's strong enough. Nope, it's not, because you're right about that, because if I did f6, his knight would take there and we wouldn't have enough for the exchange because the knight would protect that. Yeah, I'm more likely 100% sure that this is the move. Yeah, I'm 100% sure now. Because then this does a double fork, yeah. The reason I'm glad you proposed bishop e4. That's a good move. The only sitch, it just has one sitch to it. It no longer covers the c8 square, which the queen wants to check there. It's not a bad move. You're looking for the correct move sequences of the check, you know. But this is the problem. No, that is the 100%. That's the move that totally wins it all. That covers that, and so there's no checks, and there's nothing that could defend the queen. So that's the move. Let's see here. That's an interesting for sure. I like this idea. I like I like queen takes. If bishop takes, this is the coolest idea. You can actually play check, and then when the king moves, you have a sweet discovery on the queen. Trust me, that's the move sequence. This is such a sweet puzzle. Here, check, moves, check, discovery on the queen. What do you guys think? Let's go for it. Yeah, because I'll show you what would have happened if he'd taken. And then let's say he moves here. Bang! There we go. Booyah. Gotta love that. Great find though on the rook d5. That was nice. Nice. Okay. Remember though, there's always tricks in the position. That may be a decoy. So let's just take a look. What would happen if we checked? Yeah. So we have to take a look. Yeah. Yeah, it is. You know what? I'm glad you proposed it. Thank you for proposing that. This is an interesting move too. Queen b4 check. Because what it does is it hammers away at two vital points in White's camp, which that's a huge vital point. If he, let's say he plays there, we could just take, and then we're winning a rook. So let's say we play here and he moves his bishop. We take. We're winning. So we win a pawn and the knight maybe as well. Oh, interesting. That might even be better. Wow. I think you're right about that. I think that's better because then that avoids. We can do a check now here with our bishop on b4. So queen there's too soon. Yeah, I think that is right. Now that I look at it, let's see, because you're forking the knight and there, and if the knight moves here, you can just move your bishop, and you're pinning the knight to the king, and if the rook moves over trying to stop that, you can just take. Huh. I believe that's 100% correct too. Let me see, but let's take a. Oh, why it can't be? Well, what'll happen is he can actually block there. He could block here, and also we lose our potential for a fork. See, it's a good idea, but it's not the best idea, because let's say we play here and he moves. Say we take. The bishop can come back and guard the knight. The queen guards the rook, and there's the threat's all gone. So what would happen is we'd have a bishop here, a knight there. We'd have let me see. Sorry, I move so fast. I sometimes get muddled. Okay, Queen B4. That's the first check. What potentially could happen? There's two moves in this position. D3. Bishop D2. There's three moves. You can move there, there, and you only win a pawn. At that point, you only win a pawn. What about bishop b4? Bishop b4 allows for... bishop b4 has a sitch with a fork. That wouldn't work. See, the queen's the queen b4 is a good move. Check. But it's not the most I don't want to say destructive, most aggressive line that causes white problems. Yeah, I gotcha. You're saying here, and if here takes, and so you're saying what happens if the knight moves? It's just not strong enough. There's a lot of threat, but even if we checked here, let's say he played his knight there, we take. He has the ability to put his bishop on e2, guards the knight, and the rook's guard. We only win a pawn. We'd win a pawn. We'd win a pawn, but we can win a whole knight. So it's not a bad move. It's just, wouldn't it be so much lovelier to win a knight, and then you have that on the side of your board. It's like, oh yes, I'm up a whole piece and a pawn to boot. Who'd have thunk? So that's the best move. Yeah. So I believe that's, let's see there. Let's see here, we win with check there, so then we can retreat. We can retreat our queen out. So if we played here, let's say he played his knight to d2, which is actually one of the worst. You take the knight. So if we played queen takes b2, let's say the knight goes to c3. That actually loses two knights. So his best move is actually knight there, and then he only loses one knight. Yeah, that's the best move there. Oh my word, really? Ouch. Oh, you're right, because, oh, that was bad. Knight. What? Hold on. Why doesn't that work? Oh, check. And then if you played here, takes. Then if you have a fork there. Dang, that's a deep one. Why doesn't this one work though? I think I understand now why this one doesn't work. Because, let's see. Huh. Yeah, it's very crazy. That's a good move though. That's just huge. Like, I guess you just win the night, huh? Snikes. I thought for sure that was right. Wow. That was that's interesting. That is interesting for sure. Wow. Yeah. I'm not too upset. We'll recover. Don't worry, guys. Don't get down in the face or in the jaw or whatever they call that. We'll get this back. Let's see if we play there. No. I'm thinking that that's a potential idea after here, or maybe here right away, then we push something like that, because this bishop will open up for that whole diagonal, and so we have a potential mate. If we can get our queen here with this pawn up, we have mate. And that actually does a couple things as well. We can move our king, and even if he takes the pawn, let's say with the rook, we got check. I believe let's see, d6. If bishop takes d6, queen goes to e8, and then we're threatening g8. Let's see, rook d6, queen c6. Okay. See, I'm not too worried about this takes here. Our goal is to get our queen in and mate him there. Actually, if we take back, we really can't do that because the queen would take back. I'm not really too concerned with that. I believe it's either something similar to here, there, and then over here. It's something to do with this square with our bishop and queen being right there. So that makes the most sense in the whole position. It cuts the lines of communication off, and we have a check at that point, and we can potentially deliver checkmate. This shuts down this whole coordination, and even if he plays here, we can just move our king. Nice, even better. Yeah, if we go here, there, there. Well, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that's... Because that lets the rook out of the pin, doesn't it? But does that still work, though? I think that potentially does. I think that still does work, and that's really high attack. Yeah, that does do a double thing, doesn't it? If it goes here, there, and then we got mate. I like that idea. Who's with me on D6? Now, that's actually the next stellar move in the position. There's one move. There's this move that threatens mate. So there's that, and if he blocks, we check. He moves, checkmate. So if let's play here. Let's say he plays there. We move. He has nothing still, and we're still threatening checkmate. I like that. Oh, you like Queen E8? I don't know if Queen E8 has enough punch. No, it doesn't. Because Queen E8, he can actually block with the rook. And even if we try to check, he can block with his rook. Yeah. So I believe that you had the right move here because there's no way of stopping the check. Even if he or checkmate, even if he takes there, we just move. It's not about checks, it's about delivering the mate, and we have such a power. We have such a power in that position. This is the move here. What do you guys think? So it has so much potential of attack. It dominates this whole file. And even if we played here, let's say he tries to move there, we can deliver check when he moves. Actually, he can't move, can he? He'd have to move up there. Potentially he can run. No, because then we could actually, if we played here, let's say played there, we checked. We'll say it came up here. We check. Say it came there. Well, that is interesting for sure. Now that I think about it, maybe we just take the pawn. Do we just take the pawn? No, we don't want to take the pawn. That we get nothing in return for it. Do we just take the pawn? We could just take the pawn. I don't see it really any full win to the position. Because even if we played here, he can actually stop our mate. No, that's my brother. He's he you know, monitors for me as well. Like when I'm on, my brother gets on, and he takes care of if there's any trolls or anything. And he's doing really good in chess as well. So we're trying to we're figuring out that the puzzles are getting more difficult, and they're starting to go out in length of positional looking. So we may have to look, instead of maybe just 2 or 4, we might have to start looking 6 moves out. I'm not sure if that actually works. Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't know. Let's see if we played here. Let's say attacks there. Let's say check. Let's say he runs to h8. Let's just say he does that. We don't have anything else after that. We have no continuation. The rook would be here, our queen would be there, and his king would be there. So this rook would be there, our queen would be there, and his king would be right there. So we don't have anything after this. It looks so sweet to have that, but he's able to jam a rook right there. And he has his king there, and oh, so sad. I believe that still, even if our queen is here, I believe we still have the same predicament that we're in before. He has a rook there and the king there. Because once we move our queen to d5, rook goes to f8. Well, I guess we can win the bishop, can't we? Yeah. That is true, yeah. Nice, but he does have this check. Does that hamper any of our ideas that we have? Does this cause any problems? Nope. No, we just move our king, and this threat is still alive, mate. And the only way to stop it is the rook going to f8. So, what do you guys think? Bishop, queen, d5. I think queen d5 is correct in this position. No, queen d5. What do you see that's what do you see that we can do? There was a no in the chat. What's the no about? Not queen d5. Do you see, is there something better that you see? I'll give you a second to take a look, Because if there is, I don't want to lose any points. It'd be a sad thing that we did. King F1 is better after pawn takes. Oh! So are we all in on queen d5? I believe queen d5 is the correct move. Are you guys all with me on that? Do we have the yays against this? Do we have the yays for it? I mean, all right, let's go for it. Oh, wow. Oh, sorry. Queen takes. I can't believe that. Why doesn't this work? What did we miss? What did we miss? What did we miss here? In front. Oh, that. The queen moves. Oh man, I totally didn't. That was a shell shock right there. Wow, because that stops everything. That stops the queen there. That stops the rook. Oh, that hurts totally. And even if you played there, you can, okay, take with the rook. Ouch. Oh. That's okay, it's okay. For some reason I didn't see that queen slipping back. That was my fault there. We need to hawk her down even tighter and deeper in our concentration now. We'll get this one right. Same here. I didn't see that either. Okay. There's a fork, but I don't think there's enough in it for that. Yes, I like it. I agree. Looks tempting, but I see that he has a rook to c7. But actually that doesn't work because we have rook takes. So this might be the first move sequence. We might have to remove this rook off this file here and play maybe rook takes a1, rook takes a1, then the fork potentially. I'll be right back. Just hold on. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, what do you guys think? There's here, then there. I was looking at that. And then if bishop takes, knight takes. What could be the comeback here? Rook takes, rook takes, and then trying to see that if that's right. And the reason I believe that rook takes is even if he drops his knight there, it doesn't have anything anymore. because we can just play there and we block. We have a double attack here, double attack there. What do you guys think? If you guys got some proposals, I'm more than happy to look at them, because I was just looking at that. There's a lot of attack there. And also, even if he played his rook down here, we're still good with bishop to d5, attacking the queen and still renewing the threat on the bishop and knight. What are we all? Are we in agreement with rook takes a1? Trying to see if there's anything else he can do. Let's give it a go. Because if he takes here, we drop, we just move our knight, our king, and there's really nothing that's still hanging. So good find, guys. Good job. Trying to see. Let's see. Because we have a check. We have a couple of ideas that we can play. We can move our king, or go to knight c3. So we either move our king or knight c3. What you guys propose? b4. b4 is, there's only one sitch with b4. It hangs the knight. It hangs the knight on a4, a3. Sorry, b4 hangs the knight on a3. But that's a good. Yeah, I'm glad you. That was actually a good move. You know what? Well, I'm more than happy. I can see what you're saying. I know why you're saying that is an interesting move. I'll see, because here I got you. There's a check. That's an interesting move as well. That allows for a fork of the rook and king. I was looking at that. That is a good move as well. And then the bishop intercepts there, and everything's held together. We haven't gained anything. This doesn't give us anything because of takes. And if we take there, his bishop intercepts. So the knight move doesn't do anything for us. King move doesn't, actually it's worse. It doesn't really do anything for us. We lose a pawn. So I think you're right on that. I agree. I think that is the correct move. Now that I look at it. But wait a minute. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Hey, how you doing? Well, I guess we could just move, huh? Even here, let's say we play here, here, there. He moves. We take. He takes. We move our king. Takes. Queen intercepts. I think we're okay. Well, then that right there is. What do you guys think? Let's just do just a slight calculation here. Just do a little bit. Yeah, B4, I agree too. There. Actually, at this, I think we could. Ow! Oh, wait a second. So if we play here, he takes. We can just leave our knight there for right now. But does he castle? What do we do here? This is crazy. Oh, right here? Ouch. I think we move our king. Do we move our king in this position? I think so. King e2. I think that's the only forced move. I think that's it. Then knight takes knight. Dang, that was a difficult one. Nice, nice. Wow. Nice find on the b4. Wow, that was that was an interesting one for sure. One sec, I'll be right back. Let's see. Okay. Bishop d3. Okay, I want to see where I missed. If we take his knight, he has d6 check. That's right. We have to attack his queen first. Let's see here. Okay. This knight, it reminds me of the knight's on a protected square, so I believe we lose our knight after. See, if we take here, he pushes. If we block, he takes. And then if we try to take back, he takes here. So I think we lose 2 pieces. I believe we lose 2 pieces in that sitch. Because if we take here, he'll push. And then if we try to, let's just say we move, he can actually take our knight. And then still be forking. Let's see, if we play b5, queen takes, well, yeah, b5, queen takes, then we take, and I don't think he can actually do anything on that. I think we win. It's the best I could see. What do you guys think? b5? Are we in agreement on that? Let's see, because then takes, and if rook takes, we have bishop d7 attacking the queen. Yeah, I like it too. Well, the guy got frustrated and just took the queen. Why doesn't that work? Let's take a look. Oh, the queen's trapped. Wow. That's nice. That's like a smackdown right there. That's ouch. Owie, owie, owie. We got a mate threat there. Yeah. We're just using the gift that the Lord's given us, so that's what we're doing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I gotcha. Rook takes. First of all, remember, we do win a bishop. But first, we have to play rook takes check, rook takes, and then we move our queen to a2, a1, threatening mate and attacking the bishop. Do you see how we have to get rid of this guy first? We trade him off for that guy. And no matter what piece takes, we have a forking threat of mate and bishop. What do you guys think? Rook takes rook, and then whatever takes, we play either. Well, the reason I'm saying anything about that is I don't know. Let me see here. Does it matter see, sometimes move sequences are huge in this importance. So we got to That is interesting. I don't know if they both might work. Let's see. Here, check, which forces him to, we'll just say let's say here, here, there, and let's say checks. I guess we could just move here, there. See if we played here, there, 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 there. We're still threatening mate. Yeah, I think takes first is actually right. Interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, that is right. He's right. Yeah, you're right. That's right. It is right. You do have to play here first. That is the correct move sequence. Because there, and then if let's say he blocks here, we take, and then we take after he takes, and yeah, this is the correct move. Good find there. Wow, that was a deep find for sure. Do you see though how it looks? You have to be careful how you move because they're getting tougher, but we're in it to win it. So we can go as tough and as deep as they want us to. We can do it, but we have to stick together as a group, and we can do it as a team. Oh yeah, that is good. I'm glad. Yeah, I gotta say we're truly progressing at a really fast rate. I went back and watched a couple of the old ones that I recorded, and it was funny because our calculating speed and distance is so much greater now because we're working our brain muscle, like how you go to the gym and do weights. You have to work your brain the same way. It has to constantly keep getting stronger and stronger, and that's what we're doing. So it's interesting. My teacher told me that when he became a grandmaster, he would, but during the times that he had ups and downs in his rating, he would take out his old time games that were recorded, and he would play them out, and it would help him to continue onward because it shows where his progression is then, where it was then, and where it is now. And he said that teleported him or catapulted him to his grandmaster feat. So That's cool. I always remember that kind of when I get down, in chess. Like sometimes if I lose or we miss a puzzle, I remember what my teacher told me about that, and it's like, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. We're not down, but we're coming right back up. Yeah, because I gotta tell you that it really helped me with tournaments because sometimes in tournaments I may lose the first game, but I remember what my teacher told me, and what the Lord showed us, that we're never out. You're never out. You gotta get back up and keep pushing forward. Okay, back onto our puzzle at hand here. Okay, puzzle at hand. Let's see. Let's see. Look, he took our rook. We have to be able to kinda do something about that. So let's keep that in mind. And we have a lot of attack. We have this bishop, knight. So let's see. We even have that later on. So what do we want to play here? Knight c4. I was actually looking at knight g 4 if it was me, because then that threatens checkmate. Yeah, because if we play there, then he plays there, then we can actually take at that point. And we have a huge threat. It gets rid of the takes here. And if we move here, then let's say that he plays there, and he brings his rook, that's not a problem. We just drop our knight back to f6, and we're still up. We're up material. So this move covers, it stops a whole bunch of an attack. We get to win the bishop afterwards, and then we can drop our knight if b after all this sequence here, here, and there. We're good to go. What do you guys think? Knight g4. Is everybody in agreement with knight g4? So we got one. Are we all thumbs? Are we all go? What if he goes if he goes here? I'm sorry. If he goes here, we take, and then if he goes there, we can actually checkmate. We checkmate him right there. Oh yeah, that's right. I apologize. Yeah, we just take there and it's mate. Because this bishop prevents his flight square, this knight would prevent that. So the knight here would stop there, the bishop would stop there, and we would come there even if the pawn's pushed. So are we all in agreement on there? Let's do it. Boom. Boom shakalaka, yeah. You gotta love that. Okay. Let's go back to that, and we'll go over that, because I know what you're thinking here. The only stitch about that though is, see, he's got mate. The reason that let's turn this off. The reason that the pawn doesn't, even if it moves, it doesn't matter, is the knight covers that square, the bishop covers that square, and then with our sweet lady, she, come on, what are you doing? I'll just go there. What the heck? That's weird. Well, these two squares, for some reason, the thing's like glitching on me. These two squares here, I'll just do them real fast, are covered by that and that. That is weird. My computer is glitching a little bit. Okay. I hope it doesn't do. Let me see. Perfect. Okay, it's not glitching anymore. That's irritating. But hey, we got a green. That's what matters too. So don't feel, if you guys have any questions about prior uh, puzzles, we'll go back through and look at them because it's all about learning and getting better. Okay, we're in this as a team. Let's see, if we played rook takes f2, king takes f2, queen check. If he runs there, we do have queen there. Okay. I'd love to have played that, but we just, after the check with the queen, we don't have anything more. The bishop's guarding our spot and he can run. So I believe it's a queen there. What else could he potentially? No, if he goes there, that's a mate. He has that there. There. Let's say he moves here. Check. So he moves there. Checkmate. I don't see anything else that he can really. Well, oh yeah, nope, no, right there. That's the move. If we played here, it's got rook e2. Ouch, that hurts. Yeah, that'd be a lovely move, but he has this sweet move there. Oh, that's not fun at all. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun. You know, he actually has two blocks. I apologize. I forgot this bishop guards these two squares, so he's got two blocks with his rooks. So that's sad. Let's see. So probably that takes is almost forced. That takes rook takes c f2. Now that I look at it, it's more likely forced. Oh yeah, there's so many blocks. There's one here, 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 here. He's got so many angles of blocking. We can't. This doesn't work here. That's totally stopped by all these pieces. So we have to come up with something very power attack. So I'm thinking about, let's see, if we play rook takes f2, check, king takes f2. Just hold on 1 second. I just want to take a look at this. We'll probably do this puzzle, and I'll see how we do on this one, because I'll just take a look. I might do one more, but I'm not sure. It all depends how long this one takes to solve. I really don't see any after takes here. I don't see really any, follow up with there, because he'll just run. And if we go there, he brings his rook over, and so there's nothing that we can do with the rook exchange. Does not work. So rook exchange with e5. Okay, let's see here. Okay, if pawn takes, that's interesting. Check. If takes. Interesting. So okay, if rook there, if queen takes, bishop takes queen, and he takes, and we win. So rook takes, if pawn takes, we check, and he'll take here, takes, and then we mate. And if he doesn't take and runs, our queen checks there, and then that's a mate. So I believe that the idea of the rook is correct. Yeah, guys, what do you think? I believe that's correct. Yeah, let's go for it. All right, we'll do one more, because we solved that in no time flat. Good job, guys. Good job. Oh, okay. Perfect. Not a problem. Hey, more than happy to do that. There's that. Checkmate here. That's a checkmate. If he takes here, doesn't matter. He might, if he goes here, then we can actually play check. If he goes here, I believe check. If he goes there, that's check. Oh, wait a second. That doesn't work. Okay, if he goes there, hold on. Ouch. That doesn't feel good. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Check. No, that can't be right. What am I missing here? What am I missing? There has to be mate. What am I missing? I gotta turn on that computer. Okay, there. Okay, that's the mate for that one. So if he goes here, that's mate in 1. Oops, my bad, sorry. Oh, apologize about that. Let's say takes there, and then we'll do the mate 3 again. And that's the mate 3. Okay. There's like 4 different mates. Ouch. You know what? You're building. I had a professor that told me about myelin. I believe that's the name of it. It's these nodes that hook up to that allow the connection to our brain to be better. There's wires. They're wires, and so what they do is when you wrap more and more and more wrappings around it, it can actually endure more energy going through, which is thought pattern. Thought is like energy, so we can actually go further when our like neurons and all those things are wrapped more. We can think farther, do farther. We're getting there, one thing at a time, guys. One thing at a time. Wait, we got this far. Did we ever think 2354? You know what? We are gonna even go farther than that, guys, because we're gonna do it as a team. Yeah. Don't quote me on that. I had a professor that told me about that. I always asked him why does sometimes things that you can do it automatic and you can't, and that he told me about that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let's see. Oh, it's too bad. It's too bad that this bishop is here. I'd love to play checkmate there. This is mate if we only can get rid of that guy. Bishop b8. Check. Interesting. I liked that. That's nice. I like that. Yeah, nice find, man. That's stellar. Good find. Good find there. Because when that takes, that's a smack right in the face of a mate. That's right. That's the move. Who's with me on it? Are we all in agreement? Yep. Okay, let's go for it. Just 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, not a problem. Let's do it. I was going to ask if I forgot that it's holiday tomorrow, so I can do a couple more and we can go over some, um, like if you guys would like to play, or like if you have a game like this, you can do that. We'll go over a game of one of these games. Let's see here. Oops, I gotta flip the board since since we're doing my guy. So that's okay. Alrighty. So what part do you? Yeah, this is the exchange variation. It's pretty very. It's kind. I don't want to say dull, but one second. But it kind of is. It makes black have a basically zero. If you were going to do a computer term, everybody's equal at this point. Who's the best player wins in this type of an exchange. Like my teacher also taught me that if you want to go for more of a sharper line, after he plays knight to f3, you can play c5, but be very careful. Yeah. Yeah, it's really more of a positional game at that point. It's who's more comfortable in the tactic zone. Yeah. It has potential of being attackers. Like if you wanted to, hit hard and fast, you can go c5. If you kind of want to play slow, but you want to get an advantage incremental over time, you can play c6. If you want to, like how I played here, play more sharper, but you don't want to play c5, bishop d6 is an idea. Yeah. You just got to be very careful, because when you get into an isolated, I'll show you. When you get into an isolated pawn like this, you got to be very careful that you stay in the middle game, because this right here ends up becoming a weakness in the end game. So just remember that. Just try to stay in the middle game if you get like an isolated pawn like this, because the more pieces that come off the board, the greater chance white has an advantage over the person. If it was white who had this pawn structure, black would have an advantage. If it was black, like well, we have this pawn structure, white wants to go to an endgame. This one pawn takes a lot of space, so this pawn is your space grabber in the center. I like Yazzer says pawn grabbing. So this is a vital pawn. Just be very careful though. That this is more sharp without too much, fear. Also, it allows castling. It doesn't make your pawn fixed on c6. Like I can play if need be. If I wanted to, I can actually play here if I'd like, and are potentially, yeah. I mean here if I like. So, but I decided to castle in that game. See, now it's kind of the position looks kind of awfully the same, but see, I play c6 here because I want to actually play knight d7, knight d7, and then queen c7 idea, because the reason I can do queen c7 is this bishop pins the knight to the queen, so it doesn't have any attack on this or defense on this pawn. So I can't believe I didn't Well, oh, I now I understand why, because I haven't looked at this game in a while. And then there, bishop takes. And the reason I moved my rook, you're probably wondering why I didn't just take, was because his queen could actually take here. And then if I tried to attack, and I'm down a whole exchange. Yeah, it is. There's a lot that you can actually do. That's why I played rook here. It defends the bishop. If I was to attack now and move back, I have enough defenders. But see, and I kind of I get into an end slight. I don't want to trade off right now because I want to use my knights. Sometimes it's okay to trade off, but I really don't have any real reason to trade off his my rook for his knight yet. Yeah, he actually, when he did the pawn push, it helped me out. And so I just dropped in, attacks the rook, in comes, and now I take over. Takes. And then now I could trade down. If you notice, pawn structurally, I'm better. Oh, why did it help me out? Why it helped me out? Okay. Well, the reason is, see, it locked the structure down on the queen side. See, the queen side, his chance for any hope of an attack was on the queen side. And so by him not going A3 and then maybe potentially B4 or dropping his knight, something like that, he lost the flexibility of an attack, because now if he, let's say I played here and we'll say he plays that, I could take now and that's being attacked. So by him locking his structure with A5, I'm sorry, A5, A4, he stopped any counterplay on the queen side. Then I can turn to the king side and say to myself, you know what? I now can go for a huge attack, and potentially I'm the one with the attack. Because now I can play later on B5, and if he takes back, I'll show you. Let's say he plays here, I played here, and we'll say he plays something like this. And then let's say he moves his knight. Let's say, and no, let's say he takes first. And I take, and we're just going to say he doesn't, he just moves his knight, just for purpose being. Now I have the ability of creating an outside passer, all because of A4. A4 allows, after this knight moves, for me to get a outside pass pawn. It's very strange, but those small nuances in endgames change everything. And the reason and you're probably wondering why I didn't play here, I wanted to actually play here and there and then get in and attack there. Hey, not a problem. Hey, it helps me out as well. So I haven't looked at this game in a while. I'm glad we're going over it because it's good end game learning. Especially when you do it yourself, you're able then to explain it better to others. And then boom, in comes. And now I'm taking, if you notice, I have all the advantage. That move was also a mistake. He shouldn't have done that. He should have tried something like this. And then potentially, maybe I'd have played here and then he potentially can, like something similar to that, and it would have been a more interesting game. But because he moved his knight there, it allowed me to double up his pawns. I think he would have been better off to have, in my opinion, taken with the king. But the only sitch is, then I have a rook on e2, so this is his whole e2 rank would be compromised. So he had to take with the pawn. By doing that, he allowed this. Now I'm probably going to say a 0.3 advantage in computer numbers. Not a big advantage, but the structure right here is what gives me any chance, and his positional locked on the queen side also helps me as well. And at this point, I could have taken, but if I take, it's a potential draw, because I can't enter here, here, or here, so I'd have to actually move up, and potentially, I guess it could, maybe. I'm still winning, but so probably taking might have been slightly better. Let's see. I want to see what the computer says about taking, because, oops, get that out of there. I just want to see what the proper. I think I did the proper move. I'm not sure. Yep. Let's see what happens if I take. Oh, same as that. Same. Just a little bit less accurate. There we go. So when he played that, I just played up. I figured, you know what, why give him any counterplay? He really doesn't have anything. Takes. And that's actually the winning move right there. And it calculated that if he'd played there, I played there. And there's no way to stop this from queening up the board. So, do you guys have any other games you guys would like to look over, or any points in this game that you want to take a view at? Would you guys like to do a couple more puzzles? I'm game. Well, I'm glad to have helped out. That's the purpose of this channel, is to use the gift that the Lord has given me and to help you guys out. No, there's no sorry, not a problem. I wanted to make sure, because puzzles, we're good to do puzzles, but if you guys would like to look at games, if you have a game you guys would like to look, or if you have a game that maybe I played or something that you want to go over, more than happy to do that. And don't worry about proposing that. We're in this together to improve. So what would you guys like to do? You want to do some more puzzles, or what would you like to do? Oh, my most favorite game I played. Okay, that would be interesting. Let me see. Let me see which one that is. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get to the My most favorite game. I think this one would be it right here. This one would be my most favorite game that I played. I'd probably say it's the top of the top of my playing because I faced a 2152 and this was so well played by both sides, not just me. He played great moves, but I just got a squeeze on him and I never let go of the bind that I had him in. And this is London system, and he kind of played a very odd, it's not really a stone wall, but it looks very similar to that. It's kind of weird looking, so I'll go to analysis. It's more of the queen's pawn. It's a way kind of to counter the London, but if you don't know how to play it, like that's the bind that'll happen if you're not careful. This right here. And then what'll happen is once that gets stuck, it's like having a piece of meat stuck in your throat. It's you may feel better even though it's it might be bad. I mean, I want to use a better example. Maybe roadblock. There we go. A better example. It's like having a roadblock you can't get around, and there's no way of doing it. Oh no. I just I proposed a 10-minute game one time, and my opponent joined it, and so we played. And so yeah, because remember, in an end game, guys, I mean in a close game, these two the knights are strong, so I want to trade off into a double knight game. And that's why I traded off my bishops. And see, now when he moved here, he created a weakness. The queen goes to g6. I mean, I can go to g6 with check, and he would lose a pawn, and that'd be a very bad move. And so what he did is he played his king up to guard the pawn. There's nothing really he can do but that. Or he can move away and lose the pawn, but who would want to do that? So that I developed a knight. Now I'm threatening g5 into e6, and that. Oh, the London system and the Madison attack. Well, see, the London system is and like it says, it's a system. It's not really an opening. The London system is a way for white to kind of handle almost every opening that black has with the D pawn, and it allows you to get from the opening to the middle game, and you don't have to do a huge amount of study on the London system. You can do really light study in that, but you do have to study some of it because there are certain different lines that will arise out of it. And Grandmaster Simon Williams does, I think he does a 4-parter on his Ginger GM YouTube. He has like 4 lessons that he does. So he also has a tape that he recently brought out by Chess Base. He did one on Chess Base, Bishop F4, and that's a really good one too. Yeah, basically, yeah. It's really, the London system changes into so many different openings. You have the King's Indian, the Caracal, the Grunfeld. Let me see. You can even have the Slav. You can even go into the Slav defense. Queen's Gambit declined is part could come out of it. So it's a system. It's not really an opening. It's a way from getting to point A to point Z down the road for you to get to the middle game. and it's so sweet. It's an attacker's dream opening if you know how to do it. Also, you have to learn how to play positionally because sometimes you have to castle. Like castling isn't fun sometimes. Yeah, and yeah, so that's kind of how the London system works. It's more of a system than an opening. That's how I kind of learned it. If you think about it, there was Aaron Ninjavic's my system, and it's his is a way of thinking. It's a way of yeah. See, I want to play. I want to get a knight to e6 at all costs. I don't even care if I have to lose a knight in the process, trade it off to get there. And so I get my opportunity to jump right in, and now I jump in there, and I want to get rid of that bishop. That bishop's a pain, so I takes, check. I check. Now I have my knight on a really well positioned spot. It's attacking everywhere. It's like it's a monster in the sea of pieces, or in the forest. Now this was one of my moves that I was most happy about because where did I? Oh, knight h4. Yeah, I can see that. That's yeah. Then probably you'd have to play there. And then takes, and let's see. Maybe he can't play there, so we'll say he moves his rook. And then when he retreats his bishop back, you have check. He moves there. Yep, you got mate. Oh, are you talking about move 12? Oh, right here? Interesting. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to play. You wouldn't want to play your. You'd have to play back there. Yeah. So you can't play there. So probably at this point you're stopped. So yeah, I could see kind of that idea. That's an interesting idea. Let's get okay. And I have to keep a hold of this pawn because it's the thing that's holding down my knight for an attack. If he ever takes. Okay. That's okay. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Well, the knight. I just want to see what happens if he played that. Oh, on further? Okay. So this is the move it says to play. I believe it's a draw. E4. The E4 variation. Yeah, E4. And that's basically probably the best. I think you were right on move 12 though. Oops, sorry. I believe that was actually the best time. Dropping it on the other one was okay, but this is so much more forcing. Probably. Wow, so okay. But I just, it was a 10-minute game and I was like, that was a nice line you guys saw there. Cool line. I'm glad you guys saw that because, I'm always open for learning. That was a great find there. I was really happy about this line because if takes, and we have checkmate, so that's the line that I saw, and I was like, he's in a deep trouble with that. So I played there. I moved up. And this is a really cool line too, because if he plays there, I have checkmate. So that's why I could stay on the dark squared pin. And then this move was really a nice find. It's so that I can plant my queen to b3 if he plays here. And when he moved there, though, when he moved his rook over here, I had to protect the pawn because my idea is no longer there for the queen. And at this point, my idea was to hold this line. And now I'm attacking right here all the way to the king. Potentially that's an idea. I castle kingside at this point. I didn't really want to castle. I thought about castling queenside, but I didn't like this open file here. I didn't think it was that good for me, so that's why I castled kingside. A5. Then he pushes onward. I double up because if he keeps, let's say, a takes here, I can actually take here, and if he takes, that's check. He has to intercept, and boom, that's mate. So I was really happy about that move sequence, doubling up. That's why he had to move his knight. So now my idea here is I want to at the right time sack my rook and checkmate. I'll show you how I set that up. H there, I bring my queen in. See, the idea is if I can get rid of this knight here, push this pawn, get rid of that knight, I can mate him right there. I can checkmate him. So first he takes, and I'm like, you know what? I go with my plan. My idea is the plan. Then I push, I allow him to take, and I take with the pawn. I take rook takes knight, takes, I come in, and I don't even have to worry about this queen, because what piece guards the king? The rook on f1, so that when he queens, I potentially, let me see, I think I still have a mate 2. I have a mate 2 right there. That's my mate 2. So it didn't even matter if he queened. I had mate 2 at that point. I gotta say, this was one of my best games that I've played in a while. I played one like about 3 or 4 hours ago, or I think like 8 or 10 hours ago. That was really nice, but I gotta say, not one game compares to this one here. This is a good one for how the setup was. The other one was second rate. Not second rate. I don't want to say second rate. It's not as deep. I'll say. Yeah. So I have one more. I think I already showed this. Now I'll go over it real quick again. This one here. This is the one I just did 12 hours ago. I'll just go over it real quick. It's a Tarrasch variation of the French. The player was 2053. And so my goal is to, after I castle, if you can get these two breaks in, Simon Williams says if you can get F6 break in and C5 break in at this in the same sequence of moves like this, black's doing real good. So it takes, there, takes, and so I have won a pawn, and then I have to retreat back. And now I'm threatening a discovery on the rook. So he moves. And now I'm bringing my knight to attack his bishop. And he's attacking my... he attacked right through there, so... I have to give up my best bishop, but I figure I'm up a pawn. So I want to exchange down. I take, comes off that diagonal. It's like... I mean, rank, I'm like, you know what? That was actually not the best move, but it worked out okay in the end. He took. I'm coming in for that. That was actually a slight. That was an inaccuracy too here. We both missed this idea though, so I was very blessed. And I played there with my knight in to the position I wanted. I moved down. He went there, and then that was a mistake. What do you guys think the best move in this situation is? Without looking at the. What would you guys play here? There's only one move that wins on the spot. I wanted to propose it to you guys to see what you guys think. What's the best move for black? Give it your best go. There's no wrong answer. Remember that. What is the winning move for black? That's an interesting idea. That's a good move. But there's one that's better. Yeah, that is a good move. But there's one that's like yeah. I think that does anybody else have an idea, because this one is very subtle of a move. It's a move you would not think to actually play. It doesn't involve a piece. It involves, I'll give you a hint, pawns. It involves a pawn. Look at the pawns. It'll make you appreciate the little warriors that they are and how they can help. Yes. G5 wins on the spot. It's mate in 3. If he moves here, I get to drop a nice smothered mate on him. Sweet, good find there, good find. And then if he plays here, I get to drop the same sweet smother mate on him. I'm sorry, what? Knight d7. And the only move that actually saves the game is queen takes, so that's the only move that saves the game. Yeah, this is a good move too. This move back here. I don't know if it's the only problem is with this move is he can go back with a check. That's the only problem with that, and it's not a bad move. It's just we want the takedown. That's the ultimate takedown right there. Because there, and you don't get to get a smother mate like that every day. And it doesn't matter which one you do. He can even go to let's see, he can even go here, and the same sequence works. And that's why this one was so cool. Same forking sequence, no matter where he went. It's a mate with a fork on the queen. It's like that is really good. I like that game for its tactical ability, but my other game, the one I showed you before, that one is a closed positional game to its most glory, I think. It's not as good as the Grandmaster ones, but you know, I'm getting there. I'm getting closer. Okay, guys. Well, do you guys want to do one more puzzle, or what do you guys want to do? Let's see here. I gotta hold on. Let me pull this up here. Let me puzzle time. Please try. Oh, try. Where? Oops, not that. Come on, get away from there. Try where? Where would you like me to try knight d7? Well, how far back? What number is it on? Because I don't really see that. Let me see. Is it, which move sequence is it on? There? Okay, so knight. I only have d2, so in what aspect would you like to talk about this? Yeah. Because I kind of don't know what you would. Okay, what would you like me to do with it? You want me to move it? Right there? Oh, Blast Queen is on. Oh, when Blast Queen is on F1. Hold on, let me get to that part. Let's see, Queen F1. Come on, quit lagging on me. We're talking about right there, that one. I think that's it's Queen F8. I guess that's what it is. I apologize. I just don't. So I guess we're going to. I'm not sure. What's going on? It's okay if we go to puzzles for just a little bit. Okay, we'll do one more puzzle and then we'll log for the night. Yes, that'll be good. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, if we just take the bishop. Huh. Is there anything that he could do? I don't think so. I think that's good. See there? Hmm. I think we have to move our. Nope. Oh wow. I guess King G7 is the idea. Oh wait, wait. No, I was wrong. Yeah. I think you're right. So king g8. Then queen takes h6. I think queen takes is forced at that point too. If takes here, we take there. Rook has to. Oh, he pushes. Come on, make up your mind, computer, please. Ah, perfect. He pushes there. Right there. And we're up a whole piece. Well, with that, guys, I do have to log. I appreciate all your help. We're climbing up the ladder again. We're gonna do this. So remember, keep up the good work, okay? And as Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus, I say God bless, guys, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. You know what? Keep studying chess. You guys are doing great. Remember, always keep moving forward and only look back to learn. And as Hannibal Smith always says, I love it when a plan comes together, and don't we love it when we get those points? But remember, it's not about points. It's all about finding the move, and we will do that. Have a great rest of the night, guys, and great holiday tomorrow as well. Bye-bye.